Hi there everyone, this is Lilith Eeckels, and today I'm going to share with you a layout I created for the American Crafts blog, and this week we're focusing on weddings. So here are all the supplies I'll be using on my layout, and I've taken lots of supplies from different collections. So there will be stickers from the Amy Tangerine collection. There are some products from the Mayberry collection, which is the latest collection from American Crafts. So here's some chipboard. I've also got lots of little tiny epoxy embellishments as well from different lines too. Some more stickers from Mayberry and My Girl. I've also taken out two types of thickers. I don't know which I'll be using. I've also got some gelatos and some mists. And as for the papers, I'll be using papers from My Girl, from the Lucky Charm collection, and from Yes Please. And from the Yes Please collection, I chose this lovely, nice piece of craft with the flowers on it, and I'll be showing you a fun technique with that later on. So let's start creating. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my base, and I'll be using this constellation paper as well as the paper with the little horses on it as the base design. I'm layering the piece of pattern paper with the horses with some vellum as well, just to soften the pink a bit and to add a little bit of detail. And I decided to use a border punch on the border of the vellum, so it will be a really subtle little element that will be added to the layout. I'm gluing the vellum down just in one spot because that's where I'll be placing my photo, so you won't be able to see the glue. Here I'm using a little border strip from one of the pattern papers from My Girl, and this is the die cut I'll be using. So I'll be using lots of little die cuts on the layout as well, and I chose this pretty die cut with the flowers and the little bird. And here I'm adding lots of little flower die cuts that I cut out with the Cameo, and I'm just placing them really randomly in the spots I think I'll stick them later on, but this can change throughout the layout, but this is kind of the basic design. Here in one of these pattern papers I saw this cute little sweet girl little rectangle, and I'm going to cut that out and create a little tag with that. And to do that I'm just going to use a square punch and just punch out some little triangles at the top to create that tag look. So that's the basic design, and I'm going to add a few more little flowers. Now to do that I'm also going to use some white cardstock which I cut out, and I'm just going to color these using some different techniques which I will show you now. So here I've just taken out some mists, so I've got several mists as well as my gelatos, and I'm just going to color the flowers with the gelatos, and then just take a water brush, and as the gelatos will dissolve in water you will get this nice rich color onto the flowers. And I'll also be adding a little bit of mist around the petals as well, just to enhance the color a little bit. Now I'm just going to let those flowers dry, and once they are dry I can add them to my layout. And yet again I'm just going to place them. Nothing is glued down at the moment, so I can I can still change things around later on. And I really love the way these flowers just add a little bit of contrast because they're a lot more vibrant in color. And now I'm going to show you another type of flower I created, and I'm using the craft paper from the Amy Tangerine collection, and it has this lovely little rose flower on it. And yet again I'm going to add a little bit of color by using some mists and also some gelatos. So I just put a little bit of the gelato paste onto an acrylic block, and then with my brush, my water brush, which has a little container in it, I'm just going to dip that onto the acrylic block and just color my flowers. And once I'm happy with the colors, I'm just going to cut out the flowers from the cardstock. So just a little bit of fussy cutting, sorry. And if you use this technique, you will see that with this particular pattern paper or cardstock, the design of the lines still shows through. I did want to add a little bit more contrast, and so I just went over those little lines with a white pen, and that way you could really see the little petals and the little leaves of the flower. And once those are done, I can add them to my layout as well. So here yet again I'm just playing around with the little flowers, seeing how they look. So on this layout it's really all about layering, but layering lots of little embellishments. So it's a really fun way to use up your little scraps, because you can cut out lots of little different shapes and just layer them one on top of the other. Here I've taken out a scrap piece of paper from the Amy Tangerine collection, and I'm just cutting out little hearts with a punch, and I'll be adding those too. So I'm just adding them in between the flowers that have already been placed on the layout. And yet again I've chosen a paper which has just a little bit more a color that's a little bit more vibrant, and so it will really stand out and pop off the page. So there we go, we've got lots of little flowers and little hearts, and I think that fits the theme really well of weddings and a flower girl. Just a really nice sweet layout. I'm adding a little bit of ribbon, just cutting little strips and making little loops with them and adding them randomly between the flowers and on top of the photos. And yet again I'm using different colors just to add a pop of color here and there. And yet again, this is all, I don't have any theory, this is all just eyeballing. So now that is done, I can start gluing everything down and just trimming anything that that pops off the border. And I wanted to add a little bit of something to add a bit of contrast and to really draw the eye towards the photo, and I thought of adding a black element. So first I was working with this chipboard hello, which said hello, which was a circular form, but it was just a bit too big. And here I'm just adding a few more epoxy little embellishments. So yet again I'm choosing the little hearts that are all pink, etc. This was a little sticker from the sticker book from Amy Tangerine, and in the end I didn't use it, it just didn't fit. So once again I'm looking for a little element to draw the eye towards the photo, and I'm going to go with a little tab that comes in the Mayberry chipboard booklet. And it says hello as well, so just like the round one, but it was just a little subtler, a bit smaller, but it still draws the eye towards the photo. Now I'm just going to complete the title, because part of the title is on my tag and it says Sweet Girl, and I would like to transform it a bit and make it Sweet Flower Girl. So I'm using this white alphabet set from American Craft, so these are thickers, but they have this glitter to it, so it's a bit fancier. And I'm going to add it here just to the side. And there we go, the layout is almost done. Usually at the very end I'll add a few drops of mist, and here I'm adding just a little bit of pink mist. And there you have it, the finished layout. I hope you've enjoyed this little process video, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye bye.